Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. I had said earlier in a beginning report that I wanted to take this week and sort of reflect on some of the incredible memories that I have that have been given to me by nature, by going fishing and then seeing all the things around me as I was fishing. And here is another story that I'll never forget. I think I was with my buddy Louis Barkley, he's passed on a couple years ago, but Louis was such a great part of my life at this time. And we were at this place in northern Ontario. And we were there at a lake where we were fishing for giant northern pike. It was a catch and release, and there were northern pike in this lake over 20 pounds. So that was what we were there for. But what I remember one day we were out there, it was pretty windy, and it was a fairly big lake, and we were fishing in a 20-plus foot Native American canoe, probably made out of bark or whatever, just an incredibly seaworthy type of boat. But we're out in this big lake, and we'd look far away, and I said, or our guide said, "That looks like a moose way out there swimming across the lake." I said, let's get closer. I'd love to get this on camera. I want people to see this. So he immediately took off. We had some kind of an outboard motor on this huge canoe. And we got closer and closer, and sure enough, it's a moose. Well, we got right alongside this moose. It was in the middle of this deep lake, still had a long ways to go. It apparently had decided to swim across the lake to get to better grounds. And we get right next to it, and I can see the steam coming out of its nose or its breath as it's puffing and huffing, trying to keep up, trying to do what it can do, and it just the physical stress of being able to swim across that lake must have been incredible. And these great big antlers, and here I am right next to it. I'm at the front of the canoe, and I could reach down and actually touch this giant moose. Something that, again, I wonder how many people have ever had an opportunity to do this. It was, I'm sure, foolish. This huge monster could have tipped our canoe over so easily. But anyway, it finally is getting close to shore, and it gets right up to the bank. And keep in mind, there's massive horns, antlers on this moose, and it just takes off into the densest, thickest woods that you can imagine. You can't even see where there'd be a path to get in there. How is it going through there with those giant antlers? And yet it seemed to do it like there was no woods there. That is a thing that I'll never forget. And we looked at each other. What have we just witnessed? And that thing disappeared. It was gone. It was out of our life. And yet for those moments, I had shared something that I can never, ever really tell you the extremities of how it made me feel. To be next to that moose, to see it breathing, hear the sounds of it, see its eyes looking up and seeing me and wondering, what is it going to do? These experiences are extraordinary. And I would never have had them if I hadn't had this incredible opportunity to do a TV show, me not having a clue about TV when I started doing this, just having this one day in my life where somebody gave me this opportunity and said, do you think you could do a TV show on small waters? That was the premise of Streamside. And that had taken me all over this part of the world to experiences that I would never had. It was from fishing, from my love of fishing, and how it opened the world up for me to discover. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.